Hey everyone, my name is Chiel Busscher and this is Connecting Questions. Connecting Questions is a place where I ask a group of community musicians and colleagues to reflect on and think about their work and experiences. This week I asked them the question, what does the future of our field look like? To join the conversation, join us on the Soundcastle Community. What does the future of our field look like?
Well, I have no idea. That's the answer.
Wow, this is a big question.
I think for me, the future of the field would be more joined up. I think, as I said earlier, I myself kind of fit within maybe 3 different fields: composing, researching, and music education, sort of practitioner. And sometimes they don't talk to each other very well. So the industry with education with research. So I definitely think how we can move forwards with things is to have more of that partnership working, I think.
What do you hope it looks like?
I really hope it looks like it's just open to everyone. Everyone can just make their piece and get along and just collaborate and just make like a massive network. I think that would be like best case future.
Nice.
I think it's interesting to see how it changed over the last 10 years. You know, since I moved to the UK, I feel like it was something that not many people knew about, workshop leading, and you know, lots of musicians had this idea of like teaching or performing and never had this kind of work, a bit more broad look into other ways that music could be used in communities. So I think this is a big change I've been seeing, you know, like lots of, I'm going to sound like an old man now, but lots of younger people kind of already thinking, oh, this is what I want to do. You know, like I think for my generation, it's something that you kind of like, you do other things and then you're like, oh, maybe this is good. But then now, you know, people are already training to be a workshop leader without thinking being a performer first or being a teacher first, you know. So that's I think is already a big change that I have seen in the UK at least.
So for community music, I feel very positive.
Cool.
Yeah, I think places like Soundcastle Community and all these little pockets of community musicians gives me like real positivity about where our field is going.
And what kind of direction does that take for you?
So I think more people being involved in music, and just I think more co-creation and more like co-design, and yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally right. Yeah. Thanks.
In the future, I think this last year showed us how things can change suddenly, right? So, you know, like one of the main parts of our work is to be in a room with people making music. And this last year we did make music with people, but everyone in their own houses. And I think that's a big change, and lots of new apps and new websites and new ways of making music online. So I think I would suggest that, like, my I don't know, my suggestion is that it might be a combination of working with people in person and online. But my actual answer is I have no idea.
In my dreams, there'd be musical activity happening all over the place, on street corners, and I live near the woods, like in the forest and in our gardens, and that would have as much status as the music that's happening in big concert halls and in like official allowed spaces. And that it would be totally valid for everyone to feel musical. And so this thing of grown-ups being like, I'm not musical, I don't do it, that we start to work some of that out of the culture that we've created around music, of people feeling not enough and not being musical. And I think a lot of that will depend on like COVID recovery and what that looks like. And in the arts, you know, it's such an odd time as performing sound making artists to see where that goes. So yeah, but I think ultimately it's about music being everywhere, much more everywhere, and much more messy and much more generally owned by everybody.